Good day, Honors Biology students. Welcome to video lecture episode 5. Today we're going to be picking up at slide 62 and hoping to finish section 1 of chapter 11. Today we'll also briefly touch on section 2, and that's where we'll close our lecture today. All right, so let's go ahead and start at slide 62. On slide 62, we're still talking about inferring genotypes. In determining a recessive trait, that trait must be followed for many generations, as these traits are only expressed by an individual who is homozygous recessive for the trait. So you can see it does take a little bit of work, but keep in mind that should be expected, especially considering we're trying to determine recessive traits over dominant traits. Now let's talk about predicting disorders. If good records are kept in regards to genetics and inheritance within a family, these families can predict possible disorders and traits in future offspring just based on the data they have. Now, in general, the study of human genetics is difficult as scientists are limited by time and circumstances. Consider not all keep good records or records even at all, and if people do, it does help scientists in studying genetics, so we should keep in mind that if we can do so, we should do it, just to help ourselves out. I just put a fun little picture on slide 65 of Gandalf checking his email on his MacBook. All right, moving to slide 66, continuing with this discussion of predicting disorders. Good records being kept give scientists pedigrees, which can then be analyzed. These pedigrees can then be studied to understand inheritance patterns, determine phenotypes, and ascertain genotypes within a family. All right, so the last couple slides in this section 1, we're going to talk about careers in biology in relation to this. So the one career that we're going to be covering is a genealogist. A genealogist studies or traces the descent of individual families. Genealogists average as far as a salary between $55K to $57K. While there are no formal degrees required, most genealogists have a bachelor's degree in areas such as history, family history, library studies, and similar fields. You need to develop skills in both genealogy and business. The skills in genealogy needed are as follows: knowledge of how to locate and utilize local and social history sources, both original and digital, knowledge of how to utilize genealogical data programs, an ability to communicate effectively with clients, and in addition to that, they need methodical approach, not only how to do a methodical approach to research activities, they must be able to consult with others in order to coordinate information and then disseminate data, and they must be able to effectively prepare and present reports to clients. Now, the skills in business related to this in particular which are needed would be time management, financial management, customer service, contract management, project management, business writing and communication, highly organized, marketing and sales abilities. Well, this concludes section 1 of chapter 11. Let's now move into section 2 and just briefly talk about what the topic will be, as well as the objectives and, of course, the main idea. So, section 2 is titled Complex Patterns of Inheritance. That is seen on slide 2 of section 2. Now, let's talk about the objectives we seek to cover as we cover section 2, and they are as follows: distinguish between various complex inheritance patterns, analyze sex-linked inheritance patterns, and lastly, explain how the environment can influence the phenotype of an organism. Now let's conclude today with the main idea. The main idea for section 11.2 is as follows: complex inheritance of traits does not follow inheritance patterns described by Mendel. Well, I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below or reach out to me via email. Thank you. Have a nice day.